everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, nice to meet you. I'm Sofía, but you can call me Soph. Today is a very special day because today I'm doing one of my favorite videos to do, which is the mid-year reading journal flip through. So I'm very excited to show you my progress over the past few months and also appreciate my beautiful notebook from the notebook therapy. There you have it. This is a B5 size notebook, which is a little bit larger than I'm used to, but it's worked well, so I can't really complain. Though for the next year, I already bought my new reading journal. Yeah, I'm crazy like that. I must say it's a normal size A5 because, it was time to go back to my roots. And after having a square one last year and trying with a B5 this year, I thought I might as well just go with the basics, So I think we shall start, otherwise I won't stop yapping. Now, if you have watched my reading journal / media journal setup for this year, you may already know a lot of these pages and spreads. I will explain them to you, but I'm just going to show them over and tell you what has been changing, what I have added, the overall overview. Just for context, if you haven't watched my setup, well, if you want to watch it, go and do that. I'm going to leave the link over here. And there, I talked about most of the time how I didn't like that much my cover pages for my media journal. But well, I do not see it that much because I usually open my journal the point I'm at, so I can't really complain. But yeah, like everything that tells you softcore, this is me. Basically, fall colors, also a lot of fall leaves, and yeah, also tea and some witchy vibes all over the place. Now, here's my index, which is one of my favorite pages, mostly because of this illustration over here. I had so much fun doing it. I thought it was perfect for the beginning of the journal. I saw this one in Katie's channel, I think. Katie's reading. So all the credits to her. And here we have all the things that we will be checking in today. Since the journal also has like dark witchy vibes, I decided to do this spread with that same vibe. Also because the journal, I bought it with the washi tapes from the same collection, the Lunar Delivery Suki one, to make it more appropriate for the whole vibe. So now here we have the About the Reader, which is a spread that I also got from the notebook therapy, but from their reading journal. Like they launched a reading journal already made, so I thought it was very cool. And I think I'm going to keep doing this spread for my next reading journals, media journals, because I don't know, like they're a cute introduction. And yeah, I mean, I'm getting more comfortable with talking about me, so I guess I should keep doing that. And over here, it's my rating, like the general idea of how I rate my books. I don't use any special mechanism or categories specifically. I'm just okay with a 1 to 5 stars rating system. But maybe in the future, I don't know, maybe I would like to explore other systems. We will see. Over here, we have the goals for 2025, reading goals course, and the book bingo, which I decided to do it on a cute little card this year because I had some paper left. But yeah, I don't know if I complete every space on my bingo. But these are always like specific prompts of what I like to read. Here are my goals for 2025. I don't know. I don't like to stack myself up with so many goals. And these are a lot for me already. Like I was feeling a little bit ambitious at the beginning of the year, but I know I won't be completing them all. At least what I'm trying to achieve is finish the book series I'm in the middle of, which is also a topic we will discuss later. This, I think, could be also very feasible, possible, since I have some physical books by Latini author. The prompt says read 6 books from Latini authors originally written in Spanish. I'm a very small channel, so if you're new here, I don't blame you. And because of that, you may not know that I'm from Latin America. To get in contact with my local literature is something that is very important to me. So yeah, I'm also very excited for that. I think I have already read like 3 books. So maybe I'm halfway. I haven't checked, honestly. Read 3 translated books. I'm also very good. I think, yeah, I already completed this. Oh my god, that's amazing. Okay, I'm going to check it. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, well, at least that's more motivation for the rest of the year, since before that I only had checked one of the goals, which is also a goal that I set myself every year: read a book in one day. Also, what I seriously at this point need to do is to finish the Jujutsu Kaisen manga series. I just want to end the pain, you know, like I need to let it go. I need to close that chapter in my life. Maybe the following month in August I will be reading the volumes that I have left, or I don't know, like I have to organize myself, but I'm really looking forward to reading the volumes very soon. And the overall goal that is to read a certain amount of books, and the number that I set myself up to this year is 60, which is not a lot. I mean, for the last couple of years I read over 100 books, also because I was in uni and I had to read a lot of books. But yeah, I've been focusing on more things this year, so I decided to take reading as slowly as possible and as comfortable it was for me, you know. I'm very happy with my progress. Yeah, I really love the stickers. Moving on, here we have the 25 books for 2025, and I have read only 6. I don't know if I'll complete this challenge, but you know, like I'm not feeling really pressured to do it. Unlike last year, I was like, I have to read the books that I'm setting myself up to. But this year, I'm taking things very, like, I'm not in a hurry, so yeah, at least 3 books from here are like doorstoppers of a book. So I'll definitely have to take my time and see what is to come. I mean, I'm excited to read all of these. At the end, I think I'll have to prioritize some of these, but I'm okay with that. So I also have like the same spread but for movies, since this is, as I already mentioned a lot of times, a media journal. So I also log all the movies and TV series that I watch. Here I have done a better work. 11 movies. Oh my god, I'm almost like the halfway point, and I'm planning to watch more movies from here during this month. I have to like put 2 more movies, I know, but the 2 movies that I want to put here don't have a cover yet, so that's why they're not here. They haven't been released. I guess we will have to see at the end of the year, and if I completed the challenge, which I hope so. Now here we have the reading tracker, thus the reading log. This year I used 3 pages for it because last year I only set up 2 pages and it wasn't enough, just in case. It looks cute though, so I can't complain. Here also, this year I decided to divide them by color, the number of books that I read each month. So that's why here we have the months and little circles with the color theme of that month. I'll also explain that later when we get to the monthly reviews. But yeah, I have read 24 books so far. I mean, of course I wanted to get at least 30 books by June. That wasn't possible for many reasons. One, that I was living my best life on a trip in Korea, so I can't really complain. But yeah, I've been having a lot of fun doing this. Last year I would only color them with one color, so at the end it was a little bit boring, you know, like it was cute nonetheless, but I wanted to spice things up a little bit. I'm not planning on reading 120 books, you know. I already said that my reading goal was 60 books. I just wanted to fill the page, so in case I also like read more than 60 books, I could keep doing my work here. I almost reached this part, but not for now, so we will have to see again at the end of the year. This is also another part that I wanted to reach. As I told you, one of my goals is to finish the book series I'm in the middle of, and this is my book series tracker. Here I have the ones that I already started at the start of the year were Emily Wilde, which I already finished, The Atlas 6, which now I'm on the 3rd book. Yay! One of Us is Lying. I'm really like trouble with this series because I don't know if I want to continue it, but I guess that is something today's Soph doesn't have to decide yet. Before the coffee gets cold, I mean, I do want to keep reading this series, but I don't know why I have the notion that every year books keep coming out from this series. So at this point, I don't know if there are even 5 books. There may be more. Also something that we will have to to inform again later. The Hunger Games, of course, the new installment, the new prequel, Sarah's and the Reaping. We don't have to talk about it, but I have already read it. I haven't started this. I started this year, so it doesn't have to count. Also, I have to read the new book from the Percy Jackson and the Olympian series, which I haven't read, and that's awful because I really liked the sixth one. I know this isn't like a canon trilogy. I do consider the Shadowhunters short story collections as a whole, so that's why I put them there. I'm really hoping to finally read these two left that I got, Ghosts of the Shadow Market and The Bane Chronicles. Yeah, here are more series I haven't started that I want to start. For example, Earthseed, Strange the Dreamer, The Library Trilogy, Legends and Light, Dreamer Trilogy, Villains, and Anatomy Duology. Yeah, so I won't be talking about them as much, just to mention them. If I don't start them this year, that's okay. The thing is, what I wasn't expecting from this year was the new Bunny book, like the sequel, prequel. I don't really know. I have to do my research about that. But yeah, like the book Bunny by Mona Awad, it has now a second book. So I do really need to read that because Bunny was my favorite book from last year and one of my favorite books ever. Then Ava Reed also announced that she was publishing another book, the sequel of A Study in Drowning. So I'm really excited for that. Don't get me wrong. But yeah, it was like, do I really need more series in my life? But I can't really complain because I love the couple. I love the vibes, the dark academia of it. So, you know, at the end of the day, I'm very much seated and can't wait to read the second installment, alas. And the other two series that I have left, oh well, 3, 4, yeah, if we count the Beetle books and Jujutsu Kaisen, which I already talked about, I'm sorry, I know how to pronounce Italian words in Spanish, but English always messes everything up, so I don't really know. But yeah, a series from My Brilliant Friend by Elena Ferrante, which I wouldn't say that I love, but I liked it. However, they are not my priority, I must say. I don't know if I want to keep reading it, honestly. Something similar that happens with One of Us is Lying, but I have more motivation to read the Neapolitan series. Maybe I will listen to the other books on audiobook. Yeah, again, I was feeling a little bit ambitious with my reading goals this year. And the following one is truly tedious. I have 2 books left, and I also think there will be a new one this year. I don't really know. Maybe I should have checked before getting that done, but they were very entertaining, so I wouldn't complain to read them when I'm in the mood for a cozy, well, not really cozy, but a mystery that has a lot of drama and also romance and, you know, friendship. Well, I'm up to date with Heartstopper. Maybe I'm not. The 6th volume hasn't come out yet, right? Oh my god, what? I'm sorry. Maybe this is wrong. But I also have to wait for the release of the 6th volume. I'm not sure. Okay, let's move on. I'm sorry, you guys. Let's keep moving. Now, here it's like the same, but with the TV series and the movies that I watch. I think I'm going to update this right now. Maybe that's why I lied about some things over here, because sometimes I just can't be patient, you know? I'm 8 chapter away, anyways, from finishing the 4th season of The Bear, so I don't feel that bad. However, I still don't know what happened with Heartstopper, honestly. So this hasn't changed that much from my past journal last year. And here I have more space if I start more TV series and whatever that I begin watching, you know? And here, this is one of my favorite spreads as well. I don't know, I love the vibe. Maybe it is because blue is my favorite color. But yeah, I really liked how it came out. Very self-explanatory. My favorite book of every month. Yeah, these have been the best books by far this year. I really was a little bit hesitant about Lady Midnight here because it was a reread, so it shouldn't count as a new favorite, but I really didn't know what else to put. And here finally is the book bracket, because I like to separate both of them just to mark on the month which was my favorite. Also this year I decided to do like this game of semi-finalists and then finalists. I already have the 2 first semi-finalists of the year. It's exciting and I'm looking forward for the next read. I don't know what is this. Maybe the favorite book. I don't remember when I did this rectangular square. As you can see, I don't know much about my own media journal. This is such a surprise for me as well. We are vibing at the same energy level, you know? Also very self-explanatory, the anticipated releases for the year. I need to write down more for the last part of the year. Definitely there will be more books that I will want to read during October, November, December, but most of them haven't been announced yet, so that's why this is something that it's also always going on. Here are the physical books that I have on my shelves that I haven't read yet, and I color them as I go. I haven't read that many, honestly, because I've read a lot of ebooks, and I know, well, I didn't mention it, but if you read the whole list of my goals, you may have noticed that one of them was to read the entirety of my physical TBR as the beginning of the year, and I decided to let it go if I couldn't achieve that goal. This year, I've only read 8 physical books from my shelves, and I haven't bought that many. I've only bought 3, but yeah, I mean, whatever happens, I'll be okay with it. I had a lot of fun doing this, so, you know, I can't really complain, and here is my track to try to achieve the goal aforementioned. But yeah, specifically, I know it's about fun. I really thought that I would buy more books during my trip. I didn't have the time. I almost did it. Couldn't decide on which ones to take, and then I was like, okay, I'll come back for them later. And I never had the time to come back. It was so sad. Anyways, maybe that's good because I do have a long way to go. Now, here's something that I also do every year. I do have a lot of fun with it. I don't care if I complete it or not. Most of my challenge at this point are like that. It's about the aesthetics and having something like to track the books that I'm reading. So yeah, last year I decided to include also the authors categories. So now also, apart from writing down the title of the book, I'm also writing a author, not specifically the same from the title of the book above, but for example, if I read many books by a same author, I prefer writing their name instead of each title of the book. I don't know if that makes sense, but it is something like that. So I do hope it looks more complete, more full at the end of the year, but sometimes it gets more difficult. I know it for a fact. There aren't a lot of books starting with a Z or a YXW, you know, but that is also why I try to do this challenge to encourage me to find that type of books. Okay, now here I have 3 spreads for vocabulary because last year I only did like one of these, only 2 pages, and it wasn't enough. In fact, I do have to update this. I already have a lot of words, but there were more during the past few months. Then I guess I will have to create another spread at the end of my journal. That was what I usually did with my 2024 journal. I would set up another spread here, and if that was full again, go there. From the beginning, I knew I would have to do that as well this year. That wasn't the problem. I only wanted more words together, you know? Here, I have something that I also included this year, but that I haven't got much luck with because the book club that I had with my friends, well, we only read 1 book at the beginning of the year, and we haven't had the time to organize ourselves to do more reading. So I really hope at least the following half of the year we can do something about it. If you're watching this, guys, I love you. I really love this spread and these green stickers, watercolor-ish vibe. Well, I love doing body reads. I didn't know if I would make a lot of them this year, so that's why I only dedicated this space. However, I'm happy how it is turning out. I haven't finished this book, so that's why there's nothing. I hope to get to do more of these because I really enjoy sharing my reading process with my friends. Here we have the 12 recs by 12 friends. I actually have 1 left, so if you want to be my friend and you want to recommend me a book, that would be amazing. Really, like maybe I don't have that many friends. I don't know. I love you guys. All of these are very of my taste. There were already books that were on my TBR. So if you have a similar taste or recommendation, don't hesitate to leave it down below. I would really love to see it and to read recommendations by you, though I've only read 1. I also need to work on that. The thing is, a lot of least, I want to have the physical copy. For example, The Namesake and Chinko. But Chinko was one of the books that I almost bought in South Korea, but I didn't. That's also what happened with Greek lessons. And I do have Betty because it was an amazing gift by my high school friends. But I also need to read that this second semester of the year. Will totally be its time. Yeah, this one I also really love. It's sad because I haven't had a real 5-star favorite yet. Like, this is a 5-star, you know, like that feeling. Because I almost had it with Great Big Beautiful Life, but the ending, I mean, I also have a complete reading vlog about this book, so I will leave it here if you also want to watch that. It was an arc, at least. This is my amazing Hall of Fame for the arcs that I got. I have been considered more, but I haven't really read them, so that's why they are not here. Here only go the ones that I read. Also very cute, a summery vibe, even though I don't like summer. But yeah, love the colors. Hoping to see this more full by the end of the year. Now, this one is also one that I really, really like and that I haven't seen a lot of people doing it. This is my author backlist, which I have written all the books that I want to read by certain authors. And then when I read them, I color the circle. Also very self-explanatory, and here I have more space in case I want to include more authors. And yeah, really excited to get to read all these books. I know that's not possible, but we are trying. Also very lovely rosy vibes. Here, these two are also new additions to my reading journal, media journal this year. First, the genre tracker and the monthly ratings. I categorize the simple rating system that I use by color. So then, for example, when I read a horror book, I haven't read any horror book this year, so then, I don't know, it was a 4 stars. I would color the tiny square with that specific color. Also very bluish, dark soul of the night-ish, I guess. I also really loved how this turned out. The washi tape from Archana Olive are always the best. Like, amazing quality, amazing colors and designs. So yeah, I hope I can get more of these soon enough. Now, here are the monthly stats, like in general, both for books and movies. And at the end of the year, I plan to do like to sum the numbers and, you know, have real data, because we love data in this channel. Also, Storygraph helps a lot. If you do have Storygraph and you want to be friends, my link is on the description down below. I don't have many friends there, or maybe at all from what I'm gathering. No, that's a joke. I'm joking. I really love my friends. So I have from books, pages, if there were ebooks, audiobooks, if I DNF any book, or if I reread one. And here the movies, I also gather the hours watched, how many I watched at the theater or at home, the average rating as well. And yeah, this is also another one of those big ones that have to be appreciated at the end of the year. This is my page for the yearly stats. The media awards was also something that I incorporated last year in my 2024 media journal for the first time. So I'll show it to you briefly. Here we have the best in terms of books, the best standalone, duology, series, and characters, of course, because characters are the book, in my opinion. We also have the shortest and longest book, and then I will give awards for the books that made me cry the most or made me the happiest, the angriest, and also the one that I learned the most from. That basically is the same with movies, the best movies or TV series, characters, and the same prompts over there. Here I go back to books. I will have the genres. Usually I just copy the stats from Storygraph because they give you all the genres and the numbers. And you know, books by type, an overall review of my most read month, the least read month, that meaning in which month I read the most. You get it. Also the best season, the season that I read the most, and to see finally which type, which format of reading, not specifically that I prefer, but which I was more inclined to maybe. And for now, ebooks are winning, so I don't know if that will change. Excited to see. Here we also need space for the worst books, movies, films, and characters, of course. I'm a lover, but I'm also a hater at heart. And then I will see again at the end of the year the stats for these categories: identity, the format again, genre, and rating. And I will do the same for movies. So that's why here's a blank space. The these are usually not my favorite, but the ones that I enjoy the most completing at the end of the year because it's a whole overview of my year. That's always very exciting. Yeah, we still do have more way to go. I also like to do quarter reviews. A overall review during a certain time of period, how many physical, digital, or audiobooks I read, the best, the worst, and what are my plans for the next quarter. For example, the books that I want to read this quarter, because we are already in July, are Lemon, which was the one that I bought in South Korea. I added an I that is not supposed to be there. I Who Have Never Known Men, and In My Dreams I Hold a Knife. The same for this part. Okay, and these are completely new to my media journal this year. Never seen before. Here is the list of the animes I want to watch. I think there are more, but these are the ones that I want to give priority. I don't think I'll see all of them during this year, but at least I'm hoping I can get to a few of them. Last year, I didn't watch a lot of anime, and that was really detrimental to my state of being, so I need to change that, and I've been changing that this year. So excited about that. And here is my list of the Ghibli movies that I have watched, and to get a full picture of the ones that I still need to watch to be up to date. So yeah, I think I have watched like the half of them because there are 24. Yeah, I haven't watched 11. That's good. That's really good. So now we entered the territory of the monthly reviews. I'm just going to explain the overall elements of them now because mostly all the months are the same. I only did something new for June, so I'm also going to get more time on there. But basically on the left, I have the intro page with the name of the month, the calendar at the end of the month. We will see in full hindsight the days that I spent reading and which books I read. Last year, I used to write down the number of pages, but that was very, very hard to track. So I just needed to make my life easier. I also track the most read genres. And then I have a TBR. I vibe so much with TBRs. I cannot deny it. I'm basically a mood reader within a certain path. You know, like I say, okay, I want to read this book this month, and then I will just try to sense what is the better one for my mood. Both things can coexist. That's what I think. Also, at the end of the month is the full sets. I usually do this cute little circle to divide the format. I always register the books read, pages read, hours listened, if I listen to an audiobook, the average rating, and the least favorite book most of the time. Also favorite book, and I do the same but with movies. How many movies I watched, the hours watched, only movies, not TV series, because I would go crazy, completely insane if I did that. Favorite movie and least favorite movie. Since I don't have like a spread specific favorite movie of the month, and average reading, of course. I don't know if I already mentioned that. So here we got in a little bit more detail about what I read. Here, the manga volumes that I read and the media watched. Also sometimes, well, most of the time, I do this segment of the TV series of the month, and sometimes I write something, sometimes not. That's depending on my mood. Well, here is February. I didn't have a least favorite book at least, and also if you see a different color here, that means I read it in another month I wasn't planning. Well, this is kind of a spoiler, but green is for March, so I finally read this book in March, so that's why it has that color. The same with this, but yeah, so maybe if I read a novel love story during July, for example, I don't think I'm doing that, but just to make it clear, I would have to check on it with a purple pen because that's the color of the month we are currently in my journal. But here I decided to do a full review of Emily Wilde's Compendium of Lost Tales, which was the last book of the Emily Wilde series and also the first arc that I got this year, so that's why I was basically very excited to read read it. If I'm feeling like it, I will dedicate a page for a book like this one. But if I'm not really inspired, I will just like log the books that I've read that month and the basics categories such as rating, pages, format, their genres, dates, and everything. So yeah. Also here, again, we have the media watch. I also really love this spread, very greenish. Here we have another whole flash review. Sometimes I would only put the book covers if I don't have much to say or if I really don't have space, which was the case of this. Sometimes I do have a lot of space with this B5 journal, but some other times, specifically, I wouldn't go beyond this page because I always like having the cover page of the month on the left, you know, to see the full picture here. But yeah, that's okay. Sometimes I get too much into my mind and I have a lot of pages left. So maybe if I have to do that, I would leave another page blank in order for me to just start here again. Okay, so this was April. Also, I really like this one. I love this color as well. A warm tone of red. So what can I say? Here we have another full-fledged review of this destroyer of a book and more media. I like mostly all the spreads that I've done for the months this year. I can't really complain and I'm very excited to keep moving on. Since May was such a busy month, I couldn't watch many media, couldn't read much, but I got around 3 books, which it's awesome. And here we don't have any full-fledged review. I didn't feel the need to do that. And here we have June. So here I went further and more than just title, author, rating, format, pages, genres that I usually write down. I also logged the series the books were part of, the dates, the year published, and 2 very important questions. Would I read this book again? And do I recommend it? Which is something that I used to do in my 2022 reading journal. Yeah, I've done a lot of reading journals over the years, but I don't know why I stopped doing that. I'm happy to include this again because I think it's a more holistic view of my reading experience as a whole, if I'm not doing a whole review, you know? So yeah, excited to keep keeping the data about the books that I read. Also, sometimes when I have different circumstances regarding to media or the books that I read, everything that I consume, I like specifying that. Like, yeah, I was on a plane while I watched these movies, and I also write down the flights I was taking just to also to remember, to know that it happened. In a way, when there's a rewatch, I always write down that it was a rewatch. So yeah, I really also loved how this came out for June, and now here we are in July. I already have it ready, but you know, it's a work in progress. We just started. Yeah, we still have the whole month ahead, and I'm excited to read more books. And I also decided to do a movie to be watched, if one could say it like that. That's it. I'm really happy with how my reading journal is turning out. I think for the first time in my life, no, that's not real, but I think I'm mostly satisfied. I wouldn't say that I wasn't feeling happy regarding my past media journals, but I think I finally found a system that works for me and that makes me feel happy just by looking at it. So yeah, it was a little bit long because I love data and categorizing things as much as I can. We'll keep doing that, otherwise my sanity is at stake, you know. But yeah, thank you so much for being here, for sharing this moment with me. I'm excited to show more of my journal. I have a full playlist with my setups and showing you how I bring to life this journal, and I will keep doing that because I really enjoy it. Yeah, I would really appreciate a lot if you can leave me a thumbs up, little heart, and subscribe if you want. That will also be great. I'm looking forward to become friends. I'm always happy to have more friends. That also means more recs that I can give to you and that I can also receive from you. So yeah, that was it for today. Thank you again for tuning in, and see you very soon. Bye bye.